All right, let's go. I feel like I may have accidentally scheduled this for 2 hours from now, but you know what? Sometimes people make mistakes, okay? And I've got things to show you guys. Really exciting things. Like if I told you that I had some photographs of Juliana Pena that are going to make you like, damn, would you believe me? Because I do and I am. That's just what it is, dude. And I looked at these pictures. So credit where credit's due. One of you viewers sent me I think it was an email, and it was like, dude, are you going to do a video talking about whether or not Juliana is on PEDs? And I was like, PEDs? I mean, I don't know. And then I looked and I was like, damn. And primarily when I said like, damn, I was like, look at how sexy she was in 2017, dude. She's looking cool. Like that cool. Oh, there's more where that came from. There's more where that came from. I'll show you that in a second, though. What are PEDs? Really? Hold up. Is this a serious question? Performance enhancing drugs, my friend. Juice. You know? And for the record, before we even get into this, I do not think she's on juice. In all honesty, it's just it's like a catchy way to say, like, look at how yoked she is now compared to 5 years ago. And the reason that is important to note is because it's relevant related to her amount of, like, the grind that she's put in between then and now. Because, goddamn, like, check this out. Look at this. Okay. Of course I am, dude. Seriously. But yeah, like, you know, look at this. You know, like this is Juliana Pena in 2017. Check this one out, dude. Look at this one. Hold up. She's looking cool like a pool in a school. What? Look at that. I mean, come on, dude. Now, one thing you always got to keep in mind when it comes to, like, when you're looking at like female fighters and you're like, good Lord, is there's no scale, you know, like there's no, like, not like weight scale, but like scale to reference their size. So, like, as an example, she could be 5'1" or 5'11", and it would look the same in the picture, right? And so, you know, I guess you just imagine that she's the exact height that you want, but she cuts to 135. So she's like a, you know, a healthy sized girl, strong, hot. She's kind of badass, dude. Like, the more that I've, like, you know, my interest in Juliana Pena essentially broke down like this before the last fight. Oh, like they found someone else to feed to Amanda. Like, Amanda's hungry and they fed this girl to her. But she has a dog in her, son. Like, she got a dog in her. And bottom line is, like, when you look at, I mean, she's obviously already in great shape here. This is 2017. You know, like, she's put in work, like the kind of work where she can, here's the thing, you could put in all the work on your body that you want, but in order to have that dog in you, like she has, where people can just put it on her, and she uses, like, she knows that she can use it. Like, her toughness is a weapon. Like, that's like a, you know, like in a fight, like, just bottom line, the ability to withstand punishment and not get down on yourself and know, like, they're going to gas out. Like, people who use their oh my God, who use endurance as a weapon is honestly, like, that's one of the most gangster things there is. And like, I was trying to explain this to someone else the other day, like, why I think it's like the guys who break people with endurance, why that's so gangster is because first of all, people who have never fought, like, if you've never fought, that probably seems less, like, that probably makes less sense. But people who know, who are very familiar with what it feels like to be gassed out and still fighting, like, you understand that you're not looking at like, oh, did I make a mistake and get caught? It's like, if a person gets, you fight a person, you make a mistake and they catch you and you get knocked down or knocked out or whatever. That's like, you made a mistake, or they're faster and better, whatever. But that endurance beatdown is, there's only one way to beat a person down with endurance. And it means that you worked harder than them. Like, just bottom line, you put in hours that they didn't. Like, you put yourself through torture that they weren't willing to put themselves through. You punished yourself when they didn't. And so when it mattered and you got into the octagon or the ring or whatever it is, and it was time to see what people are built out of, they outlasted you. And once you were, and the thing is, once you're exhausted, you, like, dude, the exhausted version of you doesn't even resemble the fresh version of you. It's a different person, like, watch the first fight. Amanda tapped. I can't remember what exactly, like, all I remember is Amanda tapped to a submission that wasn't even like Juliana wasn't even in position to finish it. Like, she tapped to exhaustion, and, again, because ultimately the most gangster way to beat a person is to break them. Like, you broke them. They tapped out from getting broken. And, like, again, Juliana Pena is a person who breaks people. She broke Amanda in that fight, and Amanda clearly, Juliana laid it out before the fight in the first one. She said, I heard Amanda's not training. So when she said she had the virus, I was like, are you serious? Because she thought that she was trying to, give herself more time because she was out of shape. And then you watch the fight. Now, Amanda has previously gassed out in fights, but the fact that Juliana said it before the fight, I heard she's not training. It certainly lends itself to a high probability that Amanda definitely did not train hard for that fight. And candidly, like, it's hard to look down on her for that. Like, because training real hard, like a fight camp hard, there are some people, I guess, that can really go full throttle when they're not motivated and they're not afraid and they think it's going to be a walkthrough. But like, what possible indicator could there have been for Amanda Nunes that she was going to have to work really hard in camp to be prepared for Juliana Pena the first time? Now, if Juliana beats her this time, like, everybody's going to say like a prime Amanda, like a focused Amanda. They'll say, even if Juliana beats her again, because bottom line, that is the way that Juliana wins this fight. Like, Juliana's not going to come out there. She's not going to like throw a, pepper Amanda with a couple leg kicks, somehow avoid the nuclear cross that's going to come down the pipe if she throws any leg kicks, hurt Amanda's legs, and then throw a question mark kick that temples Amanda and crumples her. Like, that's not going to happen. Just bottom line. Like, that's not going to happen. She'd be insane to throw a leg kick at Amanda, because Amanda will throw a nuclear missile down the pipe at her. And I mean, and Amanda throws hard enough that like, head down, throw the kick and head down block. She's going to break through that guard and hit you on the top of your fucking nose and forehead. Like you do not want to eat across from Amanda Nunes. Boy, girl, heavyweight, lightweight. It's irrelevant, dude. But if she beats Amanda, she's going to beat her on will, perseverance, and the ability to weather the early storm and still have juice when Amanda doesn't. Like, it doesn't, like, this is the bottom line, dude. It doesn't matter who you are. If you're gassed out, I mean, like, you can Navy SEAL it a little bit, like guys who are fully gassed out. Like, there are some guys that can kind of Navy SEAL through it and just keep pushing forward. But, dude, your body doesn't work. Like, your body doesn't work. Your muscles are too fatigued. Like, you can be tough. There's a difference between being tough and being good, But like, when it comes to skills, when they're both fresh, it's Amanda all day. That doesn't mean she'll win the fight though, And so like, look, this honestly, I'll give you guys a peek behind the curtain of the Jesse on Fire YouTube channel. So this is what this video is actually about. I wanted to show you her body transformation from 2017 to 2022 and connect it to how she would win this fight, or how she won the last fight and how she would win this fight. And just more broadly, how gangster it is to beat a person on endurance and toughness, because the only way you do there's only one way to get there. You can't, like, no one is just, like, some people are gifted with endurance, but not like that, dude. The only way to get in shape like that is to fucking punish yourself into the ground. Like, just bury yourself in training. And then when you're there, then you've got more than they do, which is why, again, it's so gangster. The fact that she doesn't have the skills to beat Amanda when they're both fresh makes it even more gangster if she does win again, because it's the only way she can win is by sheer, stubborn outworking her. And her body demonstrates that is like, the likelihood, I'll just say this. I would be shocked in a biblical way if Amanda worked harder than Juliana Pena in this training camp. As a matter of fact, I would say without knowing for sure, if you're betting on Amanda having put in harder work in the camp, even given that she lost the last one, than Juliana, I don't know where you're pulling that from, Young Fatty, thank you very much, sir. The best free 3-pick parlay is you stick Anthony Smith in that, Now I might be biased, but I really don't think I am, dude. I know I am biased, but in terms of like just sheer odds versus what's what, like Magomed is a killer, of course. Like, this is a super dangerous fight. Like, obviously he has a plenty good chance to win the fight, but the odds on that fight it's maybe, honest to God, all joking aside, potentially the most ludicrous line I've ever seen. I swear to you, like, potentially the most ludicrous betting line I have ever seen in my entire life. Makes no sense, dude. Like, that makes no sense. You go, like, you look at their, like Anthony's, it's like Anthony has 14 losses, Magomed has 1, but you take Anthony's first 10 losses out of it, which are before you even knew who he was. And then you look at his last 25 fights, like he said in the interview, if you actually look at it, like, you really genuinely look and you're like, okay, who did he lose to? Right? Like, this actually connects exactly to what I was just talking about too. So he lost to Thiago Santos, and he was at middleweight. He was at middleweight when he lost to Thiago Santos too. Like, there's the other thing is when he went up to light heavyweight, he did much better also. But if you actually watched that Thiago Santos fight, which I just did the other day, like, Anthony is legit. I haven't thought about this statement very hard before I'm going to say it, but I think it's safe for me to say that Anthony might legitimately be the toughest fucking guy in the UFC. Like toughest, I mean, in terms of like, there's no fucking, like, there's not only no quit in that guy, but his ability to just continue to fight through like adversity is fucking crazy. In that, and the reason why I bring that up related to the Thiago Santos fight, which he lost, was all of you guys are legit fight fans. You wouldn't be following my channel if you weren't. So let me ask you this, and I'm serious, put it in the comments. How many times have you seen a guy take a liver shot, a real, not a body shot, not just like, I hit a liver shot, and you know the difference. If you guys are, real fight fans, you know the difference. A liver shot where they got hit. There's that split second before the body reacts to it. It's like hit, and then it's about 1,000, and then they crumble, where your body sends that shockwave through your body, where a guy folds, like where it takes a second, and then their body, it hits them, that they got hit in the liver, and their body shuts down, and they fold over. How many times have you seen a person fight through that? Like continue to fight, like where it's a body shot, their body shuts down, and not only do they everyone kind of protects himself at first, but then instead of the fight getting finished, they fought. Because for me, I was trying to think about it. I'm like, I think maybe a couple times in boxing, Anthony's coach sent me the 9th round of Mickey Ward versus Arturo Gatti, and I'm pretty sure that Gatti took a liver shot in that round. But 99 out of 100 times minimum, a dude takes a liver shot, they're done. They fold over. And they're done. Dude, he took a fucking liver kick from prime Thiago Santos. He kicked him in the liver. Do you guys, I hope you guys are like long enough memory to remember what a prime Thiago Santos kick was like. He fucking kicked him in the liver. Kicked him in the fucking liver. Thiago Santos. And Anthony took it, takes a second. He crumbled to it. He turtled up just for a second. And then he grabbed a single leg. And fought. And I watched it. I was like, holy shit, bro. Like, that's so fucking crazy that his fight instinct is higher, when you're balancing pain versus instinct to continue, because you're not fighting for your life. You're not actually fighting for your life in there. Like if you're out in the woods and that if you lose the fight, the guy's going to eat your heart, then maybe some people could fight through it. But at a certain point in a fight to the death, any soldier that's been in a combat situation one-on-one to the death will tell you the fight ends. The guy's not dead when it ends. They know they're beat, and then they get killed. You know what I mean? Like there'll be a moment where the person who's going to die realizes they lost. They lost, and now they're going to die. And so the quit in a person in a fight like that is obviously going to be, less than in a sanctioned referee, run MMA fight. But his ratio of fight through versus agonizing pain is unbelievable. And especially you consider the Glover Teixeira fight that everyone was like, how is this fight? How did they not throw in the towel? How did Anthony, and I watched that fight again. I didn't watch it recent. I didn't want to watch it this week just because, I don't want to see Anthony hurt like that. But I remember the fight, and I do remember that during that fight where he was fighting back the whole time, dude. There was never he was getting pulverized. Obviously, he went into the fight with 2 broken hands, and he was getting fucking pulverized. But he was fighting the whole entire time. It wasn't the ref's fault. The rules are the rules. If the person is defending themselves and fighting back, then and he was fighting the whole entire time. He took 3 10-8 rounds in a row, dude. Do you understand? Dude, his teeth got knocked, and he fought through that. It's just shit. Like, you can't teach that, you know? But nonetheless, when it comes to the Magomed fight, when you look at the losses that Anthony took, and then you compare, like, Magomed has never fought anyone even remotely as good as the people who Anthony lost to. Like, there's like not even close, not even remotely close. There's no one on Magomed's, resume that looks like Rakic. There's no one on there that looks like John Jones. There's no one on there that looks like, Thiago Santos in his prime. There's no one on there that looks like Glover Teixeira. I mean, you just say the names out loud. Like, just say the names out loud of the only guys. And if you look at the other fights, like, you take those off the map, he has run through these guys. Finished them all, Like, look at this real quick, and then we'll come back to Juliana Pena's body. And so, like, so when you look at, like, him being a 4-1 underdog is patently absurd. Ryan Spann, this fight, if you haven't watched this fight, watch this fight, dude. The Spann fight is awesome. Jimmy Crute, Devin Clark, first round. Lost to Rakic decision, and then the Glover fight where, everybody knows that. Before that, he KOs Gustafsson. Oh, I'm sorry. He choked him, took his back, and just flattened him out and choked him. The John Jones fight, Ozdemir submits him. Oh my God, this was brutality, dude. Shogun's still fighting. I mean, I know he's off his prime by then, but this is 4 years ago. And if you want to see if you want to just see, like, Hamzat versus Nate Diaz, it's like an assassination, bro. It's like an assassination. Go watch Anthony versus Shogun. Like, that's what that looks like. It's like, what the fuck was he doing in there with him? That's what that fight looks like. There's nothing lucky about it. It's just like, what the fuck is that guy doing in the octagon with that guy? Rashad, first round knockout. Then Thiago Santos, the one we just talked about, which is an incredible fight, dude. This was an incredible fight. Hector Lombard. And this is the one where he's like, you know my fucking name yet, Hector? You know my fucking name? This is so sick. Sanchez. And then Elvis. And then now we're back in 2016, dude. And look at this before that. So, like, from here, 2014, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 straight wins. Loses to Fajea. And these are all finishes, dude. Look at this. Submission. There's a decision right there. Submission. TKO. Those are his 2 decisions right there, ever. And so once you get to, so this is UFC. So he has a decision in his first fight in UFC. And then, boom, all finishes. All his UFC all of them have come by stoppage. TKO, KO, submission, TKO, submission. Like, anyway, like I said, like, I'm not saying he's like, I'm not calling him, like, the UFC GOAT or anything, but I'm saying they have him as a fucking 4-1 underdog. It makes absolutely no sense. Like, makes no sense at all. Because then when you go over here, you're like, all right, well, so what about Magomed? So you guys saw this fight, Thiago Santos. This was, like, I'm not talking shit about Magomed either. He's a great fighter, but this was boring. This was an insanely boring fight. Ozdemir, also boring fight. This one, pretty boring also. This one was not boring. This is a great fight. This Cutelaba one. This one right here was not real. This is the one where Kutalaba was playing the drunken master, was pretending like he was hurt when he wasn't actually hurt, and the ref called it off. One of the worst stoppages in UFC history. This one was good. He honestly, when you go and like if you go watch his fights, he looks like he was more dangerous when he was, in his earlier fights. And like Anthony's coach Danny and I talked about this yesterday. He's just saying, like, he's like, when you're up against the lower ranked guys, like you can be more reckless, which of course. But yeah, dude. Anyway, I mean, to me, those odds are ludicrous. And so for me, I'd go, Anthony, Kai Kara, dude. What are the odds on him? What are his odds, dude? Because man, you might have laid out a parlay payout. Like, I might have to make a deposit because I have all my money deployed for this event. All already in, but I am very curious what the line would be. What? Fuck. What? The fuck? I just got locked out of my thing. Hang on for 1 second, you guys. Anyway, but let's just do this over here. Sorry, guys. I'll show you guys Juliana Pena over here instead. Oh, what? Oh my God. I'm going to fucking lose it. I'm actually really curious what this line would be because I have a feeling you're going to get ridiculous odds on. I think you're going to get ridiculous odds on. Oh my God. Oh, what am I doing, dude? I can do this without even. Let's do this, dude. All right. All right. So from here, we'll go. Dude, I think we might actually come up with like one of the biggest payout parlays, like Anthony at 400, Pena at 225. Oh shit. And Kai Kara, bro. This is not an impossible outcome right here at all. And you'll get 45-1, dude. 45-1 on this parlay right here. Anthony Pena, Kai Kara. This could happen, dude. Kai Kara France. I always say Kai Kara. I don't know why I do that. Let's see if you just go these two. 13-1. I feel like you should get better than that for that, but yeah. So that's probably the longest longest answer I've ever given a $2 super chat, but good question. Yeah, I'm 70% Ashkenazi Jew, just so we're clear. Should go see who has the highest IQ per capita in the world. Just don't bet unless you are in person in the play. Why? Why not? Betting is super fun, dude. Just don't bet too much. All right, now back to hot female fighters. So this is what she looked like before. You guys all saw her at the weigh-in. And look at Megan Anderson. Remember when they like did that thing where they asked that little guy, they're all, dude, would you smash Megan Anderson? And she took it all personal. And it's like, dude, they're not saying you're not hot. They're just saying you're enormous. Like you're like a really, really big girl. And he's like this tiny little dude, you know? Oh, you know what? I just realized Reddit is not necessarily safe all the time. So I better double check that I'm not going to accidentally throw some porn up here before I do it. Hang on. Let me just keep checking and then we'll go through hot MMA fighters. Damn. Oh my God. Who's that? Oh my God. Who is that? Who is this person, you guys? I don't know who that is, but she looking cool, son. Let's see. All right. This is safe for work. Like, all right. So Jessie Jess, I don't know who that is, but she's looking cool. Mackenzie Dern is looking super cool. She's grown on me, dude. Mackenzie Dern has grown on me. Megan Anderson looking cool. Karate Hottie looking cool. Misha T looking cool. Oh, look at, she's banged up. This one does not do it for me for some reason. Hannah G, I don't know who that is. Holly H, I don't know who that is. Hannah G. Ooh. What's up, Hannah G? Carly B. This one, whew, dude, in real life, my goodness gracious. Man, I'll tell you right now, like, you know, sometimes, yeah, of course I have a wife. I would do this. This is a game my wife and I play. Like, I would be like, ooh, this one looks good. This one looks good. That's what you can do when your wife knows that you think she's the sexiest chick on earth, which I do. But, you know, like some people, you see them in person and they are, you know, you're kind of like, oh, you know, hotter on TV or hotter in person. Bro, Laura Sanko's a 9 on TV and she's a hard 10 in person. An absolute stone hard 10. Oh, Hannah G's the one that got beat up by Molly. That's right. Yep. That is true. Forgot about that. Yeah, my wife's hotter than all these chicks, though. But yeah. So back to the meat and bones of this thing, though. Juliana Pena looks like she's on PEDs because she's a grinder. She's like, she embraces the punishment, you know? Like she's you could tell by how she fights, you know, that she's like she's she's a person that can like live in the uncomfort and wait a person out. Dude, like I remember when I first started rolling, the first time I tapped a blue belt when I first started was I shot for a takedown. He grabbed a guillotine. I had my hand inside and he thought he had it. And, he was squeezing absolutely as hard as he could, but I could breathe a little bit. Now I was like, there's a possibility I'm going to go unconscious here, but I'm just going to, he can only keep this up for so long. And he went. And then eventually he let it go. And I immediately took his back, put him in a body triangle, and I strangled him. And then he told me afterwards, he's like, just so you know, if I wanted to be a dick, I could have ankle locked you from there, which is true. And now I know that, but because I didn't know to tuck my leg behind his back or whatever. But it was just like, it was one of those things where like, it's just like, in your mind that you're fighting against another person's gas tank all the time. And Pena is like, just because then all you have to do is survive. Oh my God. So should I do a video about this? Like, I think I want to do a separate video about this. I really want to talk about this right now, but I think I'm going to do a separate video about it. I really, 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 really want to talk about it though. But bottom line, I saw a video of Khabib that was, I cannot even put into words how gangster this was, dude. Like I can't even exaggerate how gangster this clip of Khabib is. I'm going to restrain myself. I'm going to make a video about it because just talking, if I put it in the middle of a live stream, no one will see it and the world needs to see it. I'll do it today though. Khabib, number one most attractive fighter. No. Oh my God. Oh, you guys, Queen Boo Chica is out of here, dude. Boo. I'm not going to tell you the name of the clip is watch the video that I do about Khabib later. You will not be disappointed. Andrew Master, what's up, man? I saw your email about this. So I don't necessarily think this is the comparison to make. I mean, no, as a matter of fact, it's not. It's not. There's a comparison to make. This is not the fight though. Like Nunes versus Pena 2 is exactly like a different fight, which is GSP versus Matt Serra 2. That's the one to compare it to. Nate versus McGregor, there's no belt on the line. As a matter of fact, it's not comparable even at all. Like there's like those two fights are not comparable even a little bit. But like, because if you're thinking through like kind of in historical terms and you haven't really thought through like what was actually going on at the time, then it might seem that way, but it's not. Like when McGregor, like when Pena fought Amanda Nunes was the female MMA GOAT, still is, had not lost in 100 years. She had destroyed the majority of the girls that she had fought throughout that run. Pena on paper looks like a non-existent competitor that she's just going to run through. No one was giving Pena even a prayer of winning. The fight was for a belt at the weight class that they both fight in. And then she pulled off the upset. That description that I just gave is identical to GSP and Matt Serra 1. And if you've ever listened to GSP talk about that fight or his fight career, one of the things that he said that's really interesting and notable was he said he's terrified before every fight. And the only time in his entire life that he was not scared before a fight was the Matt Serra one. And yeah, and then that's what happened. And so, and I think Amanda Nunes was in the same boat. I think she wrote off, Juliana Pena as anyone would have if they're Amanda Nunes at the time and they're looking at game tape of Juliana Pena. You're looking at her, you're like, how is she going to beat me? Like, seriously, how is she going to beat me? That's what it would have looked like. And Pena's like, oh, I'm going to bring her into deep water. And you're like, oh yeah. Oh, you're going to be the one. You're going to be the one that does it. How are you going to survive? Like, every single girl says that. And then I touch them once and all of a sudden they're like, oh, this is different. This feels like what it felt like when my dad punched me in the face when I was 11, So like that's the same fight is Matt Serra, GSP. Nate Diaz against Conor. Like, first of all, Conor was going to 155 for the first time in the UFC. He was going up a weight class for the very first time. He was supposed to fight against Rafael dos Anjos. Rafael dos Anjos got injured, and it was so close to the time that an interim belt and like pull someone in, maybe they couldn't do it, but they didn't want to scrap the event. And Nate Diaz had just gone crazy on the microphone very recently. Take note, fighters. Take note. He had gone on like an epic, ludicrous, at the time seemed like a ludicrous rant. Conor McGregor, you taking everything I work for, motherfucker. And you're like, what? How is Nate Diaz at the time? You're like, how is Nate Diaz involved in what Conor McGregor's doing? Like I remember thinking like it's if that's really either he's a genius or he has an incredibly skewed view of, the I don't know, like the world, like the MMA kind of landscape. But he went crazy, swore a bunch of times. And then he's like, I'll take it on short notice, but I weigh 195 pounds. And they're like, what about if we do it at 170? And Conor's all, fuck it, I'll fight Nate Diaz at 170. So he went up 2 weight classes on 2 weeks' notice with a staph infection, wasn't for a belt, and lost. Like, that's not even remotely close to the situation with Nunes and Pena. But in the GSP situation, GSP went in and he fucking mopped Matt Serra in that second fight. I don't know if that's necessarily relevant, but that is what happened. Rob Honda Show or Shadow 99. Thank you very much, sir. Just your wife is hotter. Very true. My content is hotter than all of them. Fire everything. Thank you very much, sir. That is much appreciated. And I want to buy a Honda Shadow too, dude. I want to buy a motorcycle, but Gabrielle won't let me. It's literally the only thing in the world where it's like, I want to fill in the blank, but Gabrielle won't let me, aside from like, fuck other women or whatever. Like, is it like, those are the only 2 things where Gabby puts her foot down. It's like, nope. No. Yeah, no, you cannot have sex with Laura Sanko. I'm like, well, I don't think she was necessarily down anyway, Gabrielle. She's all, but you can't. Just FYI, you can't. And also, no motorcycles. The risk is too high. Now, I will say this. Since she laid that, if I really wanted to just kind of be like, no, this is happening, I could, of course, get a motorcycle. Obviously. I would just buy it and just be like, I'm sorry, it happened. She'd be mad for a day. And then she'd just be like, be careful, helmet always. And she'd stress the fuck out. But in all seriousness, watching my children grow up is a pretty important factor in my life. And like, I personally know 3 people who have died on motorcycles. And like, and Gabrielle used to always say that, like, she'd be like, like the reason she's paranoid about it is because she knew 2 people that died on motorcycles, like growing up. And since she put that, we've been together for 15 years. So since she first said it to now, all the deaths I know of have happened in that time span. Like I didn't know anyone at the time. Now I do. Oh, you're in Palm Desert? What's up, dude? That is where Gabrielle's from. I have spent an enormous amount of time in Palm Desert. Which part's the bad take, bro? Bad take? I've talked about 100 fucking things. If you think it's a bad take, what I said about Connor and the comparison of Connor and Nate, I'm just going to say moron. There's no discussion there. That's just what I laid out as it relates to comparing this fight to Connor and DS2. Totally. There's nothing to add to that. You guys, if you're going to talk shit, you have to be specific, bro. I'll respond if you are specific. Now, this is correct. This is correct. So like I said, if you can go ahead and rattle off the number of people who have started from scratch in MMA YouTube commentary with not one, no inroads, no nothing. Just like, I'm just going to start talking about MMA starting at zero on YouTube. And I'll do it just like Chael and build a channel. I started a little over 2 years ago. Just go ahead and point to the number of channels that have succeeded. So when I tell you, like, I know what I'm doing, the data's there. And one of the absolute most critical components to success is how you title and thumbnail your videos. Because no one is ever going to click on a video from a channel that they have never heard of. If it's just someone talking and they've never listened to them, if their options are you or fucking Chael, why the fuck would they click on you? Like, the way I title videos is for people who have never watched the channel before. People who watch the videos, like, I could see my analytics. Like, once people watch and they listen, they're like, oh, and then they come back and they listen a lot. It's all about getting a person to watch the first time. And so, as an example, I could either say, Juliana's work ethic is going to be how she beats Amanda Nunes if she wins. It'll be about her work ethic. Or I could say, look at how fucking hot Juliana Pena was in 2017, and look at her arms now. Is she on PEDs? And then I'll immediately go, yeah, no, I don't think she's on PEDs. I think she's outworking Amanda. Now, which of those two do you think is more likely to get people to click on it? It's an art form. Did I just see? Oops. Blocked. 1% of motorcycle owners get in a crash each year. You think that's hang on, you think that's a low stat? 1 out of 100, a motorcycle accident, dude. A motorcycle accident. Thank you, dude. You have a great day as well, good sir. Hey, you want to know something funny about this? So my channel grew at the same pace since I first blew up on the Fabia stuff in April of 2021. So April 2021. So like I did cranked out exactly the same content for a year, like was getting anywhere from 1,000 to like 5,000. I mean, or that, yeah, 1,000 to like 4,000 views per video. And then Fabia stuff hit and the channel blew up. And I averaged around 3,000 new subs a month, something like that. I mean, somewhere, so a couple spiked much bigger than that, but then like most, sometimes it'd be like a little bit lower, maybe like 1,800 to like 3,500. And then all of a sudden it just nosedived for about 2 months. And when I talked to YouTube about it, they kept on saying, we really want creators to start creating shorts, start creating shorts. And I'm like, okay, but what does that have to do with my long form content? And then I started reading these articles and they were like, if you are cranking out shorts, YouTube will show all of your stuff to way more people. And I'm like, I guess, dude, so I started doing shorts, just as they asked. And immediately my growth shot back up. Which is so impressive if you really think about it, in terms of Google is brilliant. It's genius. If they're if you seriously think about it, they're like, man, how are we going to compete with the other sites that are doing short form content? They're all, well, the problem is we don't have a lot of content. And they're like, all right, well, who could we get to create content? They're all, how about your current content creators? Can you think of anything that gets them to contact us? It's like, yeah, when they have a dive in their, views and subscriber base, they always hit us up. What the hell's going on? So just, stick a restrictor on their channels and then put everywhere online that if they do shorts will increase their reach by 7x. And it's literally, as soon as I started doing the shorts, they shot through the moon. It's so smart, dude. It's just it's like massive, incentive, I don't know, it's just, human beings do whatever they're incentivized to do. It's just as simple as that. You just need to know what the incentive is. She was, dude. Pena. So it's interesting that you would ask that. So Juliana Pena's father's father was on the Apollo team on the ground. How'd you know that? Dude, I did an astronomical amount of research to find that out. He was on the Apollo team. He was I think he was a fabricator though. I don't think, I don't know. It's hard to say. Sometimes those guys' roles, what they actually did was kind of murky. Gabrielle's uncle is one of the lead people on the Mars rover. But if you looked, I only know that because we know him. His job title's the same as whatever. But yeah, Juliana Pena's she's got her grandpa was on it. Mix Molly is my dude. And dude, Mix Molly's the man. I sent, by the way, I completely made that up about Juliana's grandpa. Just for the record, that was completely made up. But, when I was on with Danny Molina yesterday, afterwards I sent him Mix Molly's Peter Yan video, and he was like, bro. And he's like, I have such a huge level of respect for Peter Yan. I was like, dude, wait until you start watching this guy's content. And then I sent him the whole Khabib series. I'm like, buckle up, my man. Buckle up, dude. Correct. Mix Molly does an absolutely incredible, he does an incredible amount of research. It's just a shocking amount of research. Hang on. I'm sorry. I'm catching up on these. So I don't know about prefer, but I will certainly say that the lack of content, certainly since the channel growth started again, is out of fear. I just like, I think that what I put up there might affect over here. And I just work way too hard to like do anything that could damage growth. You know, like that's if I knew for sure that anything that I said over there is not going to affect the growth over here, I would pound content over there. But I was thinking I might just start doing shorts over there just to like kind of test it out and see if that helps over there also. But I don't know. I definitely do not think she's on PEDs. The entire, in all honesty, like the point I was making, like I said, is like, look at her in 2017 and then look at her now, dude. She's so yoked now. And so for like 5 years, dude, she's been grinding. You know, like check this out. Hold on. Like, bro, look at this picture of her, man. Like, wait, what? Ugh. Where'd it go, dude? Like, look at her arm right there. Look at her arm, dude. Oh my God, you're not seeing that either. Jesus, why? This is infuriating that it does that. Look at her. Look at that. That right there. That is 5 years of sheer grind and hard work, dude. I mean, that is crazy. She's a grinder, man. It'll be really interesting. Like, I'm like legit very interested to see how this fight goes. But I'm going to have to, I'm going to have to look real close from the front row tomorrow night. Ooh, Nelly. Front row, the lower section, not the floor. But man. Clickbaiting the title. But not like, I mean, not like it's a question that people were asking. That's why it's in the form of a question mark. Is she on PEDs? I don't think so, no. Yeah, it's not clickbait. Like that's like, I don't even like, to be honest with you, I only respond to things like that in the same format because I think, I don't know, maybe we're talking past each other. Like, what I think of when I say clickbait is like, is it a clever way to create curiosity? Like, you're trying to bait a click. It's like, yeah, of course. That's the entire, like, what do you think we're doing here? You try to get people to click on you and then have content that's good enough that they'll stay and then continue to watch your stuff. Like, as long as the video is about the topic, then, that's what it is. I assume we're talking about the Juliana Pena thing. Yes, I completely made that up. Thank you very much, sir. That is an interesting question. Who do I think is going to get Holloway at 155? Let me see. So you can't, he's a superstar. So it's got to be someone with a name. So you go Oliveira, Poirier. It's not going to be Poirier. It could be Gaethje. Fuck me. It could be Gaethje. Wow. It could be Gaethje. Wow, that would be one of the most that would be one of the most epic fights you will ever see in your entire life. Gaethje versus Holloway at 55. Give me that fucking fight, man. Give it to me. Give me that fucking fight. You still, there's a possibility, bro. You might get Connor. You could get Connor. You could get Connor. You get Connor at 55, or you can get Gaethje at 55, maybe Tony Ferguson, because Holloway's too big of a name, and having him go up to 55, like they're not going to have him fight like one of these guys that's good that no one knows. Like they're not going to like. Like they're not having him fight Sarkisian. Sarukian. He's too young and too good. Gamrot, same. Dos Anjos, no. Fiziev, same, no way. Dariush, no. It's like you want to milk that. You want to milk that as a legit, draw to the fight. And so you need someone on the other side that's gonna help. That's funny. I'm not in those front row seats, not on the floor. We're like in the, there's like the floor, and then there's like the lower sections are in the front there. I'll show you actually exactly where we are in a second. Hang on. Wait, I have a super chat here, and there we go. Jesse, thank you, Pat. Do you think Dana White hooks up ticket sellers with good doctors when they get injured? Hooks up ticket sellers with good doctors when they get injured. I'm confused by that question. But anything about Dana hooking people up with good doctors, unless he's their friend or they're a fighter, I doubt it. But if you throw a follow-up question in there, I'll try to make sure to answer it. But check it out. I'll show you exactly where we're going to be at for those of you who are going to be there. So wait, is this American Airlines? Oh, yeah. We are in the front row right there. 114. Because the thing is, so when I went to UFC 270, I was in this row right here. Like I was like right there in the front, like fourth or fifth row for Francis and Gone. And you can't see that well. You can see much better from like right here or these seats. Like these are, in my opinion, these are the best seats in the house. But in all honesty, these right here, the front row of these upper sections is just as good. Just as good. Because it's just like you have more elevation, dude. It's like, which is the reason why, these seats here are better than like, like this person right here in like row K on the floor is closer, but you can see way better from right here. And the fighters, this is actually the first time that I'm seeing this seating chart this way. But the fighters are going to be coming in and out right here. Because I hadn't seen, yeah. So we're going to be right next to where the fighters come in. Now it's better to be right here because then they walk right by you. But depending on if we're on the champion side or the challenger side, if we're on the challenger side, that's where basically everyone comes out. But hopefully after Danny win, or after Anthony and Danny win, they'll walk out this way and I'll fucking jump hug them right there. Right about there. I'll do a jump hug. Right there. Oh, that's fucking exciting, dude. I didn't realize that we were for sure right where the fighters are coming in. I didn't know because I hadn't seen that the corridors were right there. That is really fucking exciting. That is really, really fucking exciting. Yep. He's good. If you want me to read that one, it costs $10, dude. I don't read that for $1.99. Can Connor make 165? Fighters who sell tickets. I'm so confused, dude. Whether they get doctors or whatever, I still don't understand. I literally said at the very, very, very beginning of the stream, I said, for the record, I do not think she's on PEDs at all. Right. The second that anybody clicked on it. But also, you have to be kidding. Like, you have to be joking. That's like the number one thing everyone talks about everyone, everything. It's like, oh my God, Izzy has gyno. Oh my God, like Kamaru's on PEDs. Like, oh my God, it's like constant. Every single person they say that about. So here's the thing about that. There are like, so there's like age and then there's fighter age. And those are two very different things, dude. Like if a person was playing soccer until they were 28 and their entire, their fight training was happening absent hard sparring, and they're like insanely talented. And then all of a sudden they're like, whoa, I think this guy could actually do it, man. And he starts fighting professionally at like 29 or 30, and he rattles off 12 straight wins. And, now he's 33 years old and he's going into the UFC, and he's up against a guy like, say, Max, who's 31. Bro, Max is fucking ages older than that guy in fight years. Because it's like, the fight game is about, ultimately, it's destruction derby with human body. Like that's what the fight. That's what the fight game is like. It's destruction derby with the human body, which is why once guys start getting knocked out, all of a sudden it's really easy for them to get knocked out. It's because they're all, they're all these like connectors in your body. It's like your body is a functioning machine. And if you get hurt, it heals itself, but it doesn't heal itself as good as it was prior to being injured. That's why guys fold their knees in half. They get the surgery, they get put back together, but then they're kind of never the same. Or like, I don't know, like the fight between Gaethje and Ferguson. That's the one that I always use as the example. It's like you try to imagine that Tony Ferguson was one of those like gelatin, those gelatin dummies that they use in like the shooting tests, Like, just imagine the damage on the inside of that machine, like it's just a fucking tremendous amount of damage. And that's just one fight. And so you do that over and over and over. You crack a rib and it heals back just a little bit crooked. You sprain your ankle and twist whatever. Like you break your wrist. You get a cracked orbital. Like you get scar tissue here. It's like, and it just grows. Like it's just not like you're not that kind of untouched fresh machine that a person is prior to jumping into, destruction derby. Ballistics dummy Ferguson, exactly. Ballistics dummy is what I was looking for. Yeah, okay. So I don't know whether or not that's true, but if bones, if they heal in the exact perfect position, then where they heal might be stronger. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but take it from a dude who has broken his hand many times and then not done what I was supposed to do and then let it heal weird. Again, if you get it perfectly set and then it heals back perfectly, but if it's just a little bit out of place and then it heals a little bit weird, like a little bit off, it fucks with you forever. That's and bones are certainly just the tip of the iceberg for what is going to get broken and fixed in your body, We're not actually we're not really. We're just pointing out that, in all honesty, just since you're new here, here's where wait a second. Wait a second. That entire time that I was talking about the fucking American Airlines, could you guys not see what I was doing? I think I just realized that you guys were looking at this. Were you guys looking at this screen the whole fucking time? Is that I'm serious. Is this what you guys were looking at the whole time? Because that would be unreal. That would mean I'm a fucking idiot. Wow. What a fucking moron. Okay, well, let me fix that real quick. I apologize. It's because it only shows the window. What a fucking idiot. Okay, so again. Oh my God, I'm gonna murder someone. Okay. So we're right there. The front row of 114 right there. So the fighters will come in right here, go this way, and then go into the ring, and then they'll come out and go this way. Now, they always have the challengers come in on one side and the champion come in on the other. And usually that means both fighters come in on the challenger side for the earlier fights. So hopefully that's this one, but oh my God, that's so fucking embarrassing. No, it's not the floor. It's not these are the floors. These are the floor seats. But that's what I was saying is if you're say you're in the 10th row of the floor seats, and you're right here. If you're just looking at the seating chart and you're not there, you would think this is a better seat than this right here. And it's not. That's why I do them up here now. Is because when you sit on the floor, it's from here, you're probably around. You're probably seven feet higher than here, ballpark. You're elevated about 7 feet right here in the front. And that makes an enormous difference than being on the floor where the octagon itself is four feet elevated above the above the ground. You know, like when they're on the other side of the octagon and you're right here, you can't see shit. But anyway, so now let me show you this. So yeah, the reason that people were asking about what people were asking about, like, because they were like, bro, look at her arms now. Look at her arms now compared to 2017. And I was like, well, I mean, I definitely 100% do not think she's on juice, but good Lord, look at her body transformation, dude. Like, this chick put in work, son. She's a grinder, dude. She has excellent bone structure for a person who's such an absolute savage. How tall is she? Let's find that out. Five seven. Wait, what? What just happened? I saw a picture the first time when. There we go. That's what I was looking. Damn, when's that picture from? She's a badass, dude. She's a fucking badass. If she wins, dude, man, if she fucking wins, dude, especially if she wins by overwhelming Amanda Nunes's cardio again, and she just beats her on prep. Like, that's what that is, dude. Beating them on preparation and toughness. That shit's so gangster, dude. But that said, I mean, I do agree that she's still an underdog. If Amanda comes in with just like, I mean, in all honesty, what Amanda really needs is like, she just needed to train more cardio and then also maybe like a little bit of a better game plan. Like, I think she went in there just like, I'm going to fucking run this chick over. But here's the other thing, dude. If you think about the number of fights where a person, like, think about this, actually. I'm actually like, you know what? And you guys help me, because I'm going to try to think of examples and then you guys can try to think of other examples. But think about this, dude. The general situation when a fighter gets an immediate rematch is when they were a dominant champion and they lost and they get to fight again almost immediately after. Like, they are the new champions next fight. That is very, very, very common with a dominant champion. Example, Max Holloway when he first lost to Volk, right? First example, yeah. So when he lost to Volk, then you've got oh my God, what's it called? Like GSP and Matt Serra. Then you've got TJ Dillashaw and Cody Garbrandt. And then you've got, who else? There was one that I was just forgetting. The bottom line, here's the point I was going to make, is the vast, Rose against Wei Li, Rose against Joanna, which, by the way, that shit's fucked up. Both times that Rose won the title, she had to give an immediate rematch to this current champion. Both times. And then she loses in a fucking lackluster kind of whatever fight, and they're not going to give her a rematch. Like, I understand it was a shit fight, but they, like, fuck that. They did that to her twice. And the point I was going to make is every single time, except for once in that example, the person who won the first time won the second time. The only time that the person who lost the first time came back and won was GSP. Now, like I said, I do think that this resembles that a lot, but it's not exact, dude. It's not exactly the same. You know, like with GSP against Matt Serra had zero skill-based advantages, no intangible advantages, nothing. Like if both of them, if both GSP and Matt Serra performed to the top of their capabilities in any single part of that fight, GSP beats Matt Serra, except maybe pure jiu-jitsu. But then when you factor in the ability to strike while grappling, so making pure jiu-jitsu irrelevant, GSP wins everywhere. Now, anyone can beat anyone. You know, like anyone can get caught if they get caught slipping, like, you know, on the feet or what. I mean, it's a lot harder grappling, but like on the feet, anybody can get caught, dude. But like with Juliana and Amanda, there is one very clear category where Juliana is better than Amanda, period. And you saw it in the first fight, and it's the same now. Amanda has a weakness. She can be gassed out. She's been gassed out too many times in her career to pretend like that's not a factor, because it's a factor. And Juliana is a fucking savage, dude, because she many times has been down in fights and has just overwhelmed someone once they got tired and won. So there is one area, and in a 5-round fight, to pretend that that's not a factor is fucking stupid. It is. So Juliana Pena has a path to victory always against Amanda Nunes. Now, there isn't a human being on earth that can absorb that can absorb too many shots from Amanda. No one. If she hits you a certain number of times, you're like at full throttle, you're fucking going down. And a 135-pound woman, there is no human woman at 135 pounds that can absorb endless punishment from Amanda. And Amanda is going to put punishment on her. So if she can absorb it and get through the storm, she can win again. And so, it is not a long shot bet that she wins. I'm not saying she's going to. But the bottom line is there's no possible way to feel confident predicting this fight, because unless you have insight into how hard Amanda worked. Like if Amanda grinded in this fight camp, if she really buckled down and really grinded, then you got to be heavily leaning towards Amanda. Like heavily leaning towards Amanda. But if she if she still kind of took it easy and is like, yeah, I just went in there with a bad game plan and blah, 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 then it can happen again. Israel, thank you very much. Can we have a discussion about how to get Brady a title shot? Hamzat beats Nate, then beats Usman. Brady beats Bilal. Immediate title. Definitely not an immediate title after he beats Bilal. So the equation looks like this. A guy like Brady has a lot of potential, both as a fighter and potentially as a brand. And not a small part of that being because his tattoos are so fucking badass. I'm actually not joking about that. He has the best tattoos in the UFC by 100 miles. There's no one even close, dude. And what I mean by that is like, you have to give people a reason to remember. Why would they remember you? Why are you relevant to them? How hey, this name is fighting this name. Okay, that's every weekend. So why do I know who this name is? Okay, you got a handful of reasons. A, you've seen that person fight and they left an impression on you. Oh shit, that's that guy. Just think it through as a fan. It's like, oh damn, wait, that's that guy that was in that one that we watched at Dude's house and that crazy ass fight, right? And you're all, yeah, they're all, oh shit, okay, I will watch him fight. Or, wait, is that guy? He's got a fucking enormous like samurai tattoo on his back. It's like, yeah, that guy. He's like, damn, that guy's a savage. Is that the dude with pink hair, you know, that looks like 6'9", talks all the shit, spinning back kicks, whatever? It's like, so Sean Brady has a reason for people to know who he is. He's also incredibly good. I'll watch his mic skills a little bit more. I would say the mic skills, he's going to need to he's going to need to he's going to have to make effort there. Like he's going to have to try, you know? But if he beats Bilal, okay, for him to get a title shot at 70, people need to know who he is. They need to know who he is, and they need to be hyped to watch him fight for the title. And that, beating Bilal, Bilal is awesome. And both of them have a decently, a decent ceiling, but neither of them are big enough yet, where they're not getting a title shot over fucking Colby. There's absolutely no way that either of them get a title shot over Colby. None of them, no chance. They might, maybe get to fight Colby, maybe, but you got Hamzat and Colby in that division. Okay. Those two guys are 100% going to get title shots over Bilal or Brady, because the job of the UFC is to sell pay-per-views. Simple as that. Mike Reynoso, what's up, dude? Thank you very much. Sam Alvey is 0-7-1 and hasn't won a fight. He has a fight coming up. How is he still in the UFC? That's a simple answer. He makes every one of those fights exciting. He goes in there and just bangs, dude. Like if he had one fight where he didn't leave it all in the octagon, he'd be done. But he fights hard and he makes it interesting every single time. Every time. I mean, I understand, but in order to be able to grapple Amanda, you need to get close to Amanda. In order to get close to Amanda, you're going to have to walk through a barrage of murder shots. And so again, we'll see, we'll see. She could, I'm telling you, I will not be blown out of my socks shocked if she won. But obviously, if Amanda goes in there and dirt naps her, I wouldn't be surprised either. I'll tell you this, Juliana looks really confident. She looks like a person who fucking belongs there. In the press conference, she's I could tell she thinks she's going to win. She definitely believes she's going to win. But I don't know, dude. I don't know, Amanda, now that I'm thinking about it, Amanda did not look as confident as she normally does. The only clip I really saw, though, was I'm the only lion. She'll know I'm the lion. I don't know. Amanda always had this look on her face. She's the quintessential happy fighter, everybody who knows anything about fighting, they always know, dude, it's the happy fighter that's the most dangerous. It's the person that's they're so excited because they love it, dude. It's just the thing they love doing is overwhelming their opponents with violence and just fucking pulverizing them. And they've got this look of hi, oh, sorry, Ronda Rousey. And they're laughing their way through life. But then they get in there and they Amanda, one of my favorite things about her is when you watch her fight, she's like this and you look in her eyes and you look at her face and she's stone focused. First of all, I love fighters where you can tell that they are looking to end the fight. I can see that on someone. That's why a lot of times a fight will start and there'll be 2 minutes into the fight and I can already tell you this fight's going to decision. And it just has to do with the energy between the two guys. You're okay, they're fast, they're going to do the thing, but these guys are both looking to score. They don't have that look of I'm trying to end this fight with every shot. And Amanda's one, you could just see it's on her and she's like this and she's smiling, dude. She has this little smirk on her face and she looks like a shark, dude. She looks like a fucking shark. She's looking over her eyes. She's and she's just giddy that she's going to fucking decapitate you with one of these shots. It's the fucking best, dude. It's the best. I love Amanda Nunes, man. Bilal's the least charismatic person in the division. I don't see him getting a title shot anytime soon. Him fighting Hamza was his big shot. Dude, I don't know, man. I saw him on Schaub's show, and he's like, dude, I don't think he lacks charisma, man. I think he just like, you know, he's in a division with a lot of fucking like big name dudes, you know. He just needs a shot, dude. Like he just needs a shot to like he just needs a shot to shine. He's a pretty dude. Like in real life, like the first time I saw him in real life, I was like, man, that's a well manicured man right there. That is a well manicured man. Anyway, all right. That's probably what I got for now. I'm gonna go film this Khabib video that I am telling you, I am not overselling this. When you see that video pop up, fucking watch it. Trust me. It is so gangster. It is so fucking gangster. I cannot even. Anyway, when you see it, watch it. All right, fellas. Later.